Hi, I'm Andrea Pinkney. Welcome to the picture book section of our program. Now here's something to think about. We all have an inner exclamation mark. The question is how to find it. And here to answer that question is a team that's been called the Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers of children's literature. You may know them from their mega success, the picture book entitled Duck Rabbit. And if you check out the New York Times bestseller list on any given Sunday, you will see the names of Amy Krauss Rosenthal and Tom Lichtenheld. And now I am so happy to introduce this dynamic duo making their Scholastic debut with a great picture book entitled Exclamation. Please welcome Amy Krauss Rosenthal and Tom Lichtenheld.
Hi, I'm Amy, but my good friends call me Amy Krauss Rosenthal. I'm really excited about my new book, Exclamation. It's the story of an exclamation mark who is trying to find his way in a world of periods. He tries really hard to be just like them. He really wants to be just like them. And he doesn't understand why he is the way he is. It takes a chance encounter with an inquisitive fellow who helps him answer that question. And oh, what a glorious answer it is. I wrote the story, but it wasn't quite whole. There was a piece missing, and I worked on it off and on for about 5 years. And then I realized one day what was missing. It was missing Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom Lichtenheld. I worked with Amy Krauss Rosenthal to create this book called Exclamation. I think what people will take away from it is that being different isn't a bad thing. And I know that kids get a lot of messages like that. In this book, I think what makes it unique is it's really simple. It uses imagery that the kids can relate to. It doesn't beat you over the head about, embracing what makes you different, because this character just stumbles into it and then is so exuberant about what makes her different.
I hope you fall in love with Exclamation, and that this little guy helps a lot of people find and harness and celebrate their inner Exclamation.
I am here with my friend, award-winning author Arthur Levine. You caught us at an interesting moment. Arthur and I were just sitting here having a conversation about, of all things, the Tooth Fairy. I was saying to Arthur, I wonder if the Tooth Fairy is African American.
And I was saying, that's funny, because I wonder if the Tooth Fairy is Jewish.
What if the Tooth Fairy isn't even human?
It's funny, that's why I wrote this book, The Very Berry Tooth Fairy. It's about a little boy named Zach who loses a tooth, takes his friends and his sister on a very funny identity crisis, and winds up with $2 and some pride that he didn't have before.
Well, what I love about The Very Berry Tooth Fairy is that even though it is about Zach and about losing a tooth, I really think it's about so much more than that. It's about a loving family and tolerance and believing in things you don't always see. And it's really, Arthur, you've written the perfect rite of passage book. I mean, every child loses a tooth and wonders if that magical creature is going to show up and leave something special under the pillow. And another thing I love about The Very Berry Tooth Fairy are the adorable watercolors by Sarah Brannon.
So good.
And we get to meet Zach and his berry family and a lot of furry friends. And Sarah's illustrations make The Very Berry Tooth Fairy a very sweet offering.
Sweet indeed.
Oh, hi. I'm Ken Geis, President Editorial Director of Orchard Books and Scholastic Press Picture Books. A few months ago, I was moved by President Obama's message of inclusion and working together for the good of the country. A group of picture book editors and designers came together to create America the Beautiful. We selected 10 distinguished children's book artists and asked them to each interpret a line from the song using children across America as their focus. We then included presidential quotes to deepen our experience of this beloved patriotic song, along with a national symbol and/or landmark from our country. The illustrators include Christian Piet, Mary Grandpré, Raoul Colon, Sonia Lynn Sadler, Brian Collier, John J. Muth, Yuyi Morales, Diane Good, Lewin Pham, and John Hendricks. As you can see, the finished book is breathtaking, and America the Beautiful is infused with the essence of the very best in American values. In the back of the book, you can learn more about our nation's landmarks and symbols, the lyrics of America the Beautiful, and a note about democracy. As an added bonus, when you take the jacket off the book, there's a poster of all the presidents. Eric Carle and Arnold Sundgaard's classic tale, The Lamb and the Butterfly, is now available in a beautifully redesigned edition. Next up is Walter Wick's Can You See What I See Out of This World, the 9th title in this Search and Find series, which follows two characters from two separate, very different worlds, a princess and a robot. Putting these two characters together is simply out of this world. The princess can see the future in her crystal ball, and the robot can go back in time in his spaceship. Both of these worlds collide in Out of This World. Walter Wick's fantastic photographs bring the princess and robot worlds together through a series of picture puzzles to search and find. The genius behind Out of This World and other Can You See What I See titles is the spectacular photographs paired with a running narrative. Readers can learn new vocabulary by searching for clues, they can follow a search and find adventure plot, and from page to page, they will be surprised by the unpredictability of the story.
Hi, I'm Diane Hess, Executive Editor. In the spirit of Robert McCloskey's Make Way for Ducklings, Christopher Award-winning illustrator Nancy Carpenter breathes life into a dramatic story told by naturalist and veteran author Eva Moore. Early one morning, Mama Duck takes her ducklings for a walk. They follow safely behind her as they waddle to a little sunlit town for breakfast. But oh no, the ducklings have disappeared into the slats of a storm drain. How 3 firemen and a pickup truck rush to their rescue makes this endearing story one that children will want to return to over and over again. This is a true story that took place in June of 2000 in the town of Montauk, New York, at the end of Long Island. Shortly after this incident, the town came together and replaced the storm drain with one that is safe for future duckling crossings. I hope you enjoy Lucky Ducklings. It's a perfect book for spring.
The first night I met Alan Say, I committed the worst faux pas in the library publishing community. We were at the Newbery Caldecott banquet, and I shook his hand fervently and said with uncontrolled enthusiasm, "I read your book, Grandfather's Journey, and it's so beautiful. You're definitely my pick for next year." I've been his fan since then, and I guess he forgave me since I didn't jinx him. And now I'm proud to introduce the first picture book we've worked on together, The Favorite Daughter. Alan has drawn on family history for some of his best and most moving tales. This one does too, but from an even more personal vantage point. It's the story of his daughter Yuriko, and the time in her life when she struggled with both her biracial identity and her love of making art. With her father as a patient sounding board and gentle advisor, Yuriko makes her own discovery, something that will inspire her forever. It's a beautiful tale of parent-child love, and I think you'll find the artwork both gorgeous and surprisingly emotional. The history of America is the history of how people came to this country, what they brought with them, and what they passed down. In the tradition of classics like When Jesse Came Across the Sea and The Arrival, The Granddaughter Necklace is Sharon Dennis Wyeth's own immigration story, told as a series of precious moments gathered around a necklace passed down from generation to generation by the women in her family. It's an African-American story, and the beautiful paintings by Bagram and Bachelin, created with the help of photo reference from Sharon's family collection, may remind you of the work of Kadir Nelson and other African-American masters. But the book also conveys a truth shared by so many Americans, that our history is often a blend of races and cultures. This is also a wonderful example of how a story can reach the universal through details that are warmly and intimately specific.
Hi, I'm David Saylor, and I'm here to introduce Lauren Thompson, who's going to talk to you about the amazing follow-up to Polar Bear Night, her award-winning book with Stephen Savage.
Hi, I'm Lauren Thompson, and I'm here to tell you about my newest picture book, Polar Bear Morning. The new book continues the story of the little polar bear cub you met in the New York Times bestseller Polar Bear Night. In this story, the polar bear cub discovered the wonder of a star shower. In my new story, something even more magical happens. The polar bear cub makes a new friend. The morning is chill and bright. From her cozy den, a polar bear cub peeks out at the snow and ice and clear blue sky. The polar bear cub clambers out into the day. Soon she discovers another little cub playing in the snow. A snow cub. The little snow cub scampers away. The polar bear cub follows. The little snow cub climbs and tumbles, then runs to the glinting sea. The little polar bear cub tumbles and runs too. They pause at the ice's edge, and then, all at once, the two little bears jump into the sea together. Snow, sea, and ice, and the wide blue sky, friends. As you saw, my friend Stephen Savage has created wonderful illustrations for this story. They're full of fun and joy and love. So there it is. I hope you enjoy reading and sharing Polar Bear Morning as much as I enjoyed writing it.
Hi, I'm here to talk to you about NightLight by Nicholas Bleckman. Nicholas is the art director for the New York Times Review Books, and this is his first children's book that he wrote for his son. It's a fantastic concept book that talks about lights at nighttime on various vehicles, on cars, trucks, helicopters, tugboats. And it's a wonderful book with die cuts on every other page. And let me read to you a little bit from it. One light shining bright. Train. 4 lights, left, center, and right. Tugboat. 7 lights flashing red and white. Fire truck. I hope you enjoy this ingenious concept book by Nicholas Bleckman, NightLight, which is for any kid that loves things that go.